How do we reduce our admin load and keep that flow going? And these are quite big things. These are single focus. So we don't want to pick all of them. We want to pick the one thing that we want to stabilize. Maybe your confidence took a hit last year and you need to rebuild that confidence. We've got to think, where is this one focus? And how can I look at this one focus rather than having a to-do list of goals and focuses? What is that one thing that's really, really important to me? And what about my sanity check-in, my sanity focus? How can I reduce the stress overall and support my future growth?
Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes, because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group, where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So, here we are in January, and if you were here from the beginning, then you will know that I'm theming each month this year, and we are looking at resetting and recommitting for the month of January. So what have we already talked about? We've already talked about what actually needs resetting this year, and I was hoping that you would take time to have a look back and see what worked and what didn't, and that we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, as my mother would say. Then we looked at letting go of what didn't work, okay? And without making it about you, so without overthinking it and worrying about it and making yourself feel like a failure, okay? So now, hopefully, you've given yourself some ideas, you've sat down, you might be a little bit overwhelmed, which is why today I'm going to talk about choosing one focus instead of 10 goals. So it's the old to-do list, isn't it? So you've sat down, hopefully, and you've gone through and you've said, that didn't work, that didn't work. I actually really enjoyed that thing, and so I'm going to make more of that thing. I really enjoyed working with those particular people, so I'm going to promote more to them, and I'm going to take out this group of people that I really wasn't enjoying or that I've grown past, to say, I've got all this training in pediatrics, but actually don't see that many children anymore realistically. But interestingly, I've seen the first child of one of my previous pediatric clients. So going full circle, it's kind of like I feel like the grandmother naturopath now, because, this young woman came to me with her baby. She's like, oh yeah, my mum brought me to you as a little kid. And I was like, oh my goodness, so you did. I don't have your notes anymore because it's way past the 7 years to keep them. You were a child then. And she said, yeah, she came to you with me because I had eczema as a baby, and now my baby has eczema as well. So she didn't come in on one of my programs. I did specially see her because of that reason. So it was just a bit of a special. I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like grandma naturopath. But it's the focus of where we're at. I am working with women, older women now. I do work with men, but I'm working with the person who's mid-age to beyond now, because that's where I am in my life. I still have all that pediatric knowledge. I still make sure I update myself. I'm still offering the pediatric online mastery course because all of that information is still relevant. There's not really a lot more I can update within it or add to it. I've added a lot of links to it instead of my adding more to it. But when we think about choosing one focus instead of 10 goals, our goal setting can backfire, right? And so what does it do? It scatters our energy when it backfires. We find we have all these half-finished ideas, and there's that thing again, that self-criticism. Because we don't want that self-criticism, do we? We don't need to be on top of everything and totally in control and, narcissistic about the whole thing. But we do need to make sure that we're finishing off some of these ideas, that we're saying, yeah, we're giving ourselves a pat on the back. What does one focus mean? So one focus could be stabilizing your income. So I'm not talking about the to-do list, right? We have a to-do list, and on the to-do list, you might have update website. Okay, that's nightmare because that's a huge thing to update website. Whereas if you say correct errors on front page, you'll just go in and correct the errors on the front page. That's an easy win, isn't it? Oh, boom, done. So we have to really think about what is this thing? Okay, so we might have the to-do list, which is all of the things that need doing. And then we have to nut down that to-do list into small action items. But what we're talking about here is actually the core intentions. Okay, so we have a focus because what we don't want is overwhelm. We want to reduce that overwhelm and we want to bring it into containment. So we want to think about that one focus in our business and what that actually means. Like I said, what did I say? Stabilizing our income. That's something I talked about a lot last week. We had the ebbs and flows of business, but how can we stabilize that? How can we improve that consult flow? That's something I talk about all the time and I work with people about and I've got a webinar for ATMS coming up about that. How do we stabilize that? How do we reduce our admin load and keep that flow going? And these are quite big things. These are single focus. So we don't want to pick all of them. We want to pick the one thing that we want to stabilize. Maybe your confidence took a hit last year and you need to rebuild that confidence. We've got to think, where is this one focus? And how can I look at this one focus rather than having a to-do list of goals and focuses? What is that one thing that's really, really important to me? And what about my sanity check-in, my sanity focus? How can I reduce the stress overall and support my future growth? It's okay to choose maintenance as a goal. It's okay to go, I can keep going in this. I have the skills and I can keep maintaining this and I can build on perhaps this one thing. So we're having a reflection question again. It's only a quickie today. Having a reflection question today. If I could only make one thing easier this year, what would it be? What would that one thing that you would make easier be? So, obviously I can help you out. You can come along to my Monday group. And we just had a session on Monday. It was really cool. Really enjoyed it. Everybody back, everybody chatting. It was really good. In the Monday clinical group. And if you want a focus call, check in with me. And link is in the show notes. And book a focus call. Let's have a chat. I'd love to catch up with you. And thank you for the emails that I've been receiving. And I look forward to catching up with you on the next cast. We'll see you all soon. Cheers.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.